Now, you ready?
All right, we're live.
What's the deal, my people? You know who it is, Don Tony Teflon Moe-Genie. This is the Review Champs. What up, what up, what up?
Yo, what's going on, man? Good. Yo, what's good with you?
You know, another day, another dollar. We getting it in. So this is the Review Champs, and if people aren't familiar with the Review Champs and what we all about on this show, Moe-Genie, let them know.
Yeah, man. This is the Review Champs, guys. This is what we're doing now. It's a new podcast by Moe-Genie, by the main man Teflon. We're trying to get this into the people, man. This is the new podcast talking about sport.
No doubt about it. We talk about sports. We talk about entertainment. We talk about politics. We will review anything. And we have a big system on the review. You know, if we're reviewing something, we going from the standard 8 count to the full knockout. So you know how we do on that, and we're going to get right up into this piece.
Yeah, and if you guys have any particular topics you'd like us to review, throw it down in the comments, send us a message. We will gladly add it to the list because this show is also about getting what the people want. You feel me?
You know what? I'll review anything. So I'm talking about babies too. You want to talk about, you know what I mean, the chick or whatever, I review your chick. Send me a picture. You know what I mean? You know how I do. Get down, baby. Let's get this.
Exactly. So, first topic of discussion today. This is something crazy. Can't believe what I was seeing with my own eyes. Very graphic, just disgusting. I mean, most news outlets wouldn't keep it. It's the Facebook shooting with this evil bastard named Steve Stevens, man. Teflon, what did you think when you saw this out?
I think that's a little harsh on this to call him evil. I think the actor was evil. Now, you know what I mean? But calling the man himself evil, because we're going to get more into it, but I feel sad for the man, in all honesty. It's a terrible situation. It's something that should have never happened. But I will say that, you know, when you push someone to the point of no return, these are the things that happen, and I've seen it too many times. And I'll tell you the truth, Mo. You know, I've dealt with depression myself, and depression is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And depression can push you to a point where you don't feel like you can have anything less to lose. And from the statements that I heard that he was putting out there, I really don't believe that this man wanted to do what he did. I just think that he had a shitty, fucked up day. And once he pulled that trigger on that dude, there was no coming back for him. But we're gonna get into it, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, just a disclaimer, folks. We're not giving an excuse. Teflon's not giving an excuse to shoot somebody in the face. We're not saying that. It's just there's probably a lot of things that led to that situation. So don't think that we're giving an excuse out here.
I'm not saying that at all. And if people want to take it that way, then they're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that depression is a motherfucker. And when you push people to this point and they are in a depressed state of mind, anything can happen. I think this goes back to other shootings that we've seen in schools. We've seen that one guy in the school that was getting teased, and he went back to the college and he shot the people in the college, and he said everyone was making fun of me. I was getting teased. It's that even when you go and do the Columbine situation all the way back then, you see these people getting picked on, and they were misfits and outsiders, and then they just took the thing into their own hands and went in there and started shooting up the school. It's all about depression, and I think that people, especially people in the black community, I think you're looked on as a weak individual if you try to admit your depression. That people are like, what the fuck you mean you're depressed? My life is fucked up too. My life is this, my life is that. But some people can handle it better than others. And saying that, oh, my life is fucked up, get over it. When you say that to the wrong person and you don't give that person the love that they're searching for, it puts them in this position where they don't feel that they have nothing else to lose, and this pushes them over the end. And I think personally that's what happened to the Steve Stevenson.
So let's say I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Let's say, so are you saying that everybody that's depressed can go out and kill people?
I'm not saying people can go around and kill people. No one should have the right to kill anyone. What I'm saying is that if someone is depressed and they are not as mentally strong as someone else, and I think the problem is right there. that people just assume that people are as mentally strong as themselves. Like, I've been in situations, I've seen other people in situations where people are like, just get over it. Just get over it already. It's over. But some people can't get over it. Some people, some things stick with them. I'll tell you, my father passed away over 15 years ago. It hurts me every day. Every day. And there'll be some days when I'll just drive by and I'll just start crying for no reason. And it's days that I get upset, and I'm upset. And when I was with my kid's baby's mom, I would be upset. And she'd be like, you're upset for no reason. And she would tell me, this is the day your father died. And I wouldn't even know it. But I'd be upset on that day. You know what I'm saying? And that would happen to me all the time. And it's just things like that. Some people aren't as mentally strong. And I think it's wrong that people should just assume that someone should just get over something. Yes, we would hope that someone could get over it, but doesn't mean that everybody has the mental capacity to do it. So you can't put your own thoughts on somebody else's. You know what I mean? So let's talk about exactly how it broke it down and everything else. We'll get it more into that after we talk about that.
Most definitely. Let's start out with how this began. I mean, we're talking about most people were sitting down, just cruising through Facebook, and some viral videos being passed around of an old man being shot by a black man. Both of them were black individuals. And one was an older gentleman, looked like he was carrying groceries, and another one, I thought the video was fake. What did you think when you first saw it, man?
You know, when I first heard it, and I'm going to say this, number one, it was two black people, a black man killed another black man. If it wasn't on Facebook, it would not be getting the publicity it's getting. Let's just get that out of the way, all right? Because black people have killed each other all the time. You don't hear nothing about it. The reason why this is getting promoted and this is making a story is because it was put on Facebook Live. Well, originally, people thought that he killed them on Facebook live stream, but he really just posted the video up on Facebook after doing the shooting. But when I watched it, and I watched the video, when I watched it, and I've listened, I've watched videos all the time. And when that website Rotten.com was popular, and they were showing people getting shot and people being beheaded, I used to watch all that stuff. I don't know why I don't like it or anything else like that, but I think it's just a generation we live in, and I think a lot of it too is that people with these video games, people getting shot up, all this Call of Duty shit, I think it desensitizes people, and that's the bottom line. But I've watched all this stuff, so this ain't new to me to seeing things like this. In my personal life, real life, growing up in Queens, New York, I've seen people shot. I've seen bodies laid out. I've seen my friends laid out, multiple of them. So I've seen it happen. When I seen it and I listened to what he was talking about, and the first thing he was saying, he gets out the car and he tells the guy to say his girlfriend's name, and then says that this is the reason why you're going to get shot right now. And this old man has got like a Save-A-Lot bag. So, you know, the man's coming from the store. He probably had to go out to get something to eat for dinner. You know, it's just so sad that, you know, people in his family could be like, they sent him to the store. What if we didn't send him to the store? He'd still be here. What if he would have stayed back and got something else 5-10 minutes later? I mean, this guy, Steve Stevenson, he picked the most defenseless guy he could find. You know what I mean? He gets out the car. He makes the guy says something about his girlfriend's name, and then he goes, this is the reason why you're getting shot right now. He shoots the guy, tries to put the bag over his face, his hands up. He shoots him and lays the guy out, goes back in the car, and then just acts like it's calm, cool, and collected. But if you really look at that guy, if you really look at him, you see that he's not as calm, cool, and collected as he is pretending to be. And when you listen to what he's talking about after he does the shooting, you really start to understand exactly what's going through this man's mind. I think that at that section, he was just trying to prove, like he was trying to prove to everyone else, like, I'm really fucked up. And people probably didn't believe him. And he's like, you're not going to believe I'm fucked up, but now you're going to believe I'm fucked up because I'm going to show you.
Okay, so the first CNN article states that he was walking home from an Easter meal with his family when the stranger walked up to Robert Goodwin Sr. This is obviously who we know now is the older black gentleman that was shot. The two talk briefly before the stranger pulls out a gun and fires. Now police are desperately hunting for the man who killed Goodwin and uploaded it to Facebook Live. after he shoots him, obviously we know that the tape cuts off or whatever. He's rambling on about why he killed the old man, et cetera, et cetera. What we find out today is this guy got caught today in Pennsylvania at a McDonald's. He was asleep or something like that, and somebody spotted the vehicle. Pennsylvania state troopers were called in, and before the cops could pull up to the car, he shoots himself. End of story. And most dudes that commit something like this usually end up killing themselves because they know that they don't want to face the piper. They know exactly what time it is in a situation like this, so they do the weak thing and they kill themselves. Whatever some people might think of that, that is a known thing. When a dude commits a crime like this and he kills himself, it's premeditated.
And I don't even think I don't even think that it's facing the piper. I think he knows what he did. I think he knew what he did. If you listen to what that man was saying after he got in the car, he's saying, yo, I've always been a beast inside. Like he's trying to make you believe that by saying that. Like, I've been a beast inside. Like, you see him making up a lie. I killed 13 people. You didn't kill 13 people. He's trying to make people believe something that he's not, because that's not been him. You know what I mean? And you can see he's still trying to perpetrate that fraud. And then he says to the guy, he's like, I've done this. I've done these things. Go check Facebook. Go check this. Because he's trying to make people believe that he's hurt because, his girl left him. From what I understand, he got mad debt and gambling. He probably felt his life spiraling out of control, and no one's taking him seriously. He probably went to people and tried to talk to him about it. And I'm saying, especially in the black community, man, people don't be taking people seriously. They just be like, oh, get over that shit. Fuck that bitch. Who cares about that bitch? She ain't what you no more. Go fuck somebody else. Go do. Sometimes people can't get over stuff like that. It's because you're able to. Don't put it on the next man and assume that the next man can get over it the same exact way that you could have. Because that's how you end up with someone like Steve Stevens. If someone would have just gave that nigga a hug, man. If someone had just been real with that cat, you know what I mean? And just embraced him and be like, yo, you're going through some hard times right now. I got you. Don't worry, man. We're going to get through this shit together. I guarantee this whole motherfucking thing could have been averted. But he did that to prove to people that he wasn't bullshitting. And that's why he did this crime. He did it to prove to everyone, y'all all think I'm bullshitting. He says people made fun of him growing up. He said that no one took him serious. Now you're going to take me serious. And I really did it. Now what? And I think that as soon as he did it, he felt bad, but there's no coming back. It's over. Because when you pull the trigger on somebody, your life is over. And he knew it right then and there. I mean, this guy was a counselor. It wasn't like this guy's a criminal. He was a counselor for kids.
Supposedly the rumor going on out there is that his girlfriend caught him in a homosexual situation. That's what the rumor is going on.
And that leads to a whole different. That leads to a whole different situation, because if she did catch him in some homosexual situation. Now that means he has feelings that he's been hiding inside of him, and he was afraid for people to let out, and now they're going to get out. Listen, Mo, yo, man, heads in the black community, man, you will fucking diss a dude, make fun of a dude to the point where you're pushing someone to this limit, you know what I mean? Instead of allowing someone to be happy and live their life. This reminds me of that dude. Remember that dude, Andrew Cunanan? Remember that cat?
Mm-hmm.
That dude, that gay cat, and then all those other rich people would treat him like a fuckboy, just slapping his ass back and forth, swapping his ass back and forth, and not giving him the respect he deserved. And what happened? He went around, started murdering rich gay dudes. And then he wound up getting Johnny Versace or whatever like that, until he got caught himself and killed himself in Florida the same way. It's the same situation. You pushed that kid to the end. You treated him a certain way. You passed him back and forth, made him feel useless. Now I'm going to have the power all of a sudden. I got the gun. I have the power, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this power. This is the same thing that happened to this cat, bro. I'm trying to tell you, That's what was going through this dude's mind, and that's why this went down like that. And it could have been averted. It could have been, but people got to stop messing with people. People got to learn to show people love instead of pushing people off that edge.
Yeah, right now is a really, lots of tension going on all over the country right now. You know what I mean? With Trump being president, what's going on in the Middle East, like people are on edge. And, you're going to get situations like this. You're going to get stories like this. And, it is what it is. I mean, it's a tragic situation all the way around, the Goodwin family, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just glad the guy's off the street because
he had to get what he had to get, and I understand that. There's no doubt about it. And I feel 100% sad for the Goodwin family. But if you listen to the Goodwin family and their interviews, they understand that they see it. And I know that. That's why the lady, she was like, I know I can forgive him. She said, I want him to get caught, but I know I can forgive him. I know I can help. Because it's just a problem. Mental disease, people, especially depression. And I know it's looked on as, oh, just get over it. It's not like that. When you feel like your chips are down, I'll tell you, as someone who admittedly right now telling all your cats have suffered from depression my whole life, up and down, you know what I mean? I know how it feels to feel boxed in. I know how it feels to want to be free. Like I told Mo before, like on the Civil Rights and Fire convention, right? Mo asked me, he said, you told him you're going to dress up. And I told him, what I said was, I can't, I'm not that free. I would love to feel like I could just dress up in the costume and go out there, but I'm so concerned that someone's going to make fun of me. I can't do that. And that's a problem. And that's what it is with this cat. This cat, if he was gay, I don't know. But if that was the case, he's afraid of being outed. He's afraid of being made fun of by all these people he grew up with, being afraid of being treated differently, being afraid of being looked on differently. All this stuff built up inside of him. All the time he got teased, made fun of, all this. Oh, they're going to call you a big fat faggot or whatever they're going to call you, you know what I mean? He's afraid of all this stuff. I'm going to prove to you now that I'm that gangster. And that's why he made up the lie about killing 13 people. That's why he did this and told people, go look at the Facebook, go look at the Facebook. Because he wanted people to see, look at me. I'm really doing this. I'm really what I told you I was. I'm really that killer. And he wasn't.
This is the thing, though. For many, many years, Black people were never the ones to use the mental disease excuse for committing crimes. For the longest time, white people were using that. Timothy McVeigh in Oklahoma, you name it. I don't know. Freaking the guy that just got caught in New York that killed that black guy just recently. That military guy that got caught maybe what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? They said he's got mental bipolar disorder, and they caught him. He drove all the way up from Baltimore
to kill a black dude.
For the longest time, even the Columbine kids, they said they had depression, but this was a white people thing. White people always use that excuse. Oh, I had to kill them because I got problems. And their lawyers would use that excuse. You know what I mean? But to see now a black guy using that excuse, you take things into a perspective of how far along mental disorders are being treated in the country, et cetera, et cetera. It's not an excuse to kill nobody, but you can see what that side is now. There's two sides to a coin. Because for the longest time, it wasn't black people using mental disease as why they killed.
No, when you're pushed to the point, and people will think, listen, if you're black, you got to get over it. Your whole life is depressing. You're black, you go through a lot of shit, and it's hurtful. You know what I mean? If you work at something, you know what I mean? You work at something, and you work at something, and you work at something, and then someone comes and takes your idea and steals your stuff and gets 2,000. It gets especially if we talk about a solo YouTuber. You make something up, whether it's let's say a hit song, and you write a hit song, and your friends hear it. Then someone comes and steals it. Beyonce steals your song and she puts it out and she gets $10 million from it. And you're like, motherfucker. That's hurtful, man. That hurts. That hurts inside. That hurts somebody. You know, when you worked hard and long to do something and you get a little bit of recognition and someone comes and takes the same idea and people act like they did it and you get billions of views, that's very hurtful. That puts someone in a state of depression because you're like, God damn, what's wrong with me? Why aren't people gravitating towards me like they're gravitating towards this other person? I'm the one who came up with this. Things like that happen all the time, you know what I mean? And that's why I tell people all the time, when you grow up in New York City, the number one thing you get taught is you don't know what's going through another man's mind. Never look at some individual and say, oh, look at that little pussy, I could take him. You don't know. You don't know what that little dude got on him. You don't know what that dude been through, and you don't know what that dude is capable of. So people in New York City know how to stay in LA. When I travel to other states, I see how people, they getting in other people's business. And I be telling them, yo, back off that cat. You don't know what's going on with that cat. Leave that dude alone, man. You know, people be up in people's business, you know what I mean? Because they don't learn that lifestyle. That, you know, they're more open, and like down south, people are all more open and everything else. But I will say, like, when you go down south, you know, the people will comfort you a little bit more. But sometimes people don't know where to go to get that comfort. Sometimes people are afraid to go get that comfort because it makes them feel like they're weak. And they don't want to feel weak, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, only a bitch needs a psychiatrist. I ain't no bitch. I don't need no psychiatrist. Yes, you do. And it's not a bitch that you're not a bitch for going to see one because you need someone to talk to. It doesn't make you a bitch. And people need to get rid of that stigma, especially in the Black community, to get rid of that and just be able to open themselves up. You know what I mean? I grew up, my pops, real quick, bro. Like my pops, my whole life, I never hugged my pop. My pops ain't with me. I never hugged him. I never hugged my pops that I can remember in my life. I always shook his hand. That's just the way his generation of man did. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. I wish I could have hugged my pops. You know, when I look back, I wish I had a memory of that. I have no memory of that. I have memory when I was a baby hugging his leg and stuff like that, but not as an adult, like when I was in my 18s, 19s, and 20s and all that, hugging him. And I wish I could have. But as a generation of men that he grew up, that's not what those men did. That's not what we were taught. You know what I mean? They were taught to shake a hand, a firm handshake, and that means I love you. You know what I mean? You didn't tell a man you loved him when you said you loved him back then. Now it's a little bit different. Now, you know, and I think that it's because of kids like me who grew up with parents like that and understand that they show their kids a little bit more affection and they hug their kids and they tell their kids and their boys they love them and stuff. But I think it's more because of being through that generation that they grew up in.
For sure. That's deep, man. That's real deep. Let's get on to our second segment. What would you prefer? What do you want to jump on, man? You want to jump on the Walking Dead finale, or you want to go up to Nintendo and talk about some gamer shit?
But whatever you would, let's do Nintendo real quick. Let's run that.
All right, second segment, Review Kings, folks. We're gonna be talking about.
I just say review. Put it in and say review champs round. Review champs. We champs, not kings. Review champs round 2. Ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? Then hit that bell. So go review champs round 2.
All right, review champs. And then I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna add the ding ding in. Don't worry.
Yeah, you got to review champs round 2. Say round 2. Ding, then add the ding 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 in. Yeah.
All right. Review champs round 2. Ding.
Ding.
All right, we got Nintendo just coming out the other day saying that they will not be releasing any more NES minis. I don't know if most of you guys know the NES Classic just came out in a mini version. It came out Christmas 2017. It just came out this past December, and they came out with the NES Classic in a mini form that came bundled with 30 games on the hard drive. This was really awesome. This was for the old school gamer, for anybody born in the 80s and earlier. This was the freaking item to have this Christmas. And the thing was, these things sold Christmas morning to get them. You weren't getting them. Each store probably got about 30 of them, and through the whole United States, Walmart's, GameStops, and that's it. Then they said they were going to come out with new shipments in February and March. They did it. Then all of a sudden, at the beginning of April, a lot of stores got a new shipment in. And then last week, just last week, 2 weeks after the new shipments came in, Nintendo releases a statement that they will not be making any more Nintendo NES minis, man. Teflon, what'd you think about this, bro?
Yeah, it's fucked up. That's what I'm gonna tell you straight up. It's fucked up. You know what I mean? Because first off, when they put these motherfuckers out there, right? They put these shits out and they put them out in limited quantity. And that allowed people to buy those motherfuckers up and start selling them for thousands of dollars on Christmas, fucking with people, right? Now, after they do that bullshit, and then you're supposed to restock so everyone can get it, now you're going to say, no, I ain't making no more. That's just some bullshit. You know, I've fucking supported Nintendo from day fucking one. There's not a Nintendo system up until this new system that's out right now that I haven't bought yet that I have not owned. I've owned everyone. And when everyone else was doing Genesis, when everyone else was doing PlayStation, when they were doing the Sega Master System, when they were doing any other system, I always repped Nintendo. I always stuck with these motherfuckers. And it's shit like this that makes me say, to your fan base. You know what I mean? And they're not being that. And that's some bullshit. You need you should understand what people paid for that fucking system during Christmas and got fucking bent over with no Vaseline trying to get that shit for their kids. And now that you could just re them up and put them out there, it's not hurting. It's not going to hurt the sales of your new fucking system at the Switch because it's a whole different category. The people who are going to buy those games are older people who just want to re-experience that with their kids. You know what I mean? Because the bottom line, what this is going to make people do is just get the modded version and play the modded version, and you're going to lose out on the dough. That's what's going to happen. That's what people are going to do. They're going to say, fuck you, Nintendo. I'll get all the modded version. I have all this shit on my fucking cell phone now. Fuck you then. You know what I mean? Or
people will just get emulators on their computers. So it's a bad move on Nintendo's part.
Yeah, and I'm someone who swore off of doing that because I always like to rep the people and give them the money. But now I'm like, yo, fuck you. I should get that myself and handle it the same exact way. Because you trying to say fuck you to me, so I got to say fuck you to you.
The only people that win in this whole situation are scalpers. The scalpers who bought up all these people you see taking pictures on Instagram and Facebook that have 50 NES minis in their living rooms, and you just wonder how the hell did they get access to 50 of them? It's because some manager at Walmart or GameStop sold it to him, illegally.
I can tell you exactly how it happens because I used to do magazine distribution. I was in that business. I did that business for 6 years, and I tell you that anytime there was back when I was doing it, I remember that Sable, that chick from wrestling, did her first Playboy edition. China did a Playboy edition. I would get those in, and the owners from the stores and the people that were in the stores, before I could even put them on the shelves, would take them out and ask me, yo, Tone, put them to the side. Put them to the side. And that's how they get them. The people from the stores, when Dale Earnhardt passed away, and everyone wanted the Sports Illustrated edition of that, and I had that. Before I could even put them on the shelves, the owners of the stores, the people who ran the stores and all that would say, yo, put 10 to the side for me. Put 15 to the side. And I put them right to the side in the back of the store. And then whatever I had left, I put out on those shelves. So and that's how people get it.
Basically, 80 to 90% of these scalpers that are selling them on eBay right now are store owners and store managers.
They have to be. That's the only way it goes because it has to go through the distribution person. And that distribution person is friends with you're friends with these people. And you got to be friends with them because you want them to hook you up later on. Because you can look, I got you on this. Maybe one day I'm doing my route and I'm slow. You could help me out. And, that's how you run it. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. I'm telling you straight up, man. I used to get magazines, man. And I used to be cool. I used to have tints. I used to have the tints that faded from the mirror tints that faded from blue to black. I had them before anyone came out. Before when them shit was brand new, I had that shit when it was hot. And that shit is done illegal. I used to go to my man Todd on the subway in Johnstown. I used to give him every FHM and Maxim magazine. That's when they first came out. When them shits first came out. I used to go there and drop them off there. The Johnstown Police Department guys would go there. He would give them to them. they introduced me to those dudes. Them dudes used to pull me over in my tents just to say what up to me and tell me what magazine they needed for their wife. I had like a subscription service giving these dudes free magazines, Glamour magazine, Cosmo magazine, and I just drop them off at Todd's place, and they would give them Todd bow hunting magazine, whatever, and they pick them up for Todd. They see me drive by on my tits. I never got a ticket. That's what it was. That's the way it goes.
I mean, you know, that's America, that's capitalism, supply and demand, you know, but I just don't get it, man. You go on eBay right now, if you want an NES Mini, they're $200, $300. These things were only $60 at Christmas at the store, but you had to stand out in a 30 to 50 person line for 5 hours and hope you even got one, because the stores only got 30 of them. Well, all these scalpers took them all, and now they're selling them on eBay and Amazon for $200. Screw that.
It's the same shit, you know. I remember when my daughter was born back in the day and shit like that, the Tickle Me Elmo shit. I remember niggas getting charged $5,000 for a Tickle Me Elmo. $5,000 for a goddamn Tickle Me Elmo. Yeah, I've seen people pay it. In the parking lot of Cross Gates Mall in Albany, I've seen people paying that dough. You know what I mean? So, you know, I got mine. The reason why I got my daughter that is because at that time, my mother was the manager at Walmart. And I got 3 of them. Period. That's how I got them. You know what I mean? So this is what it is, man. This is what it is, and that's the way it is and shit. Like, man, that's the way it goes.
Whether it's Jordans, whether it's Tickle Me Elmo, whether it's Beanie Babies, whether it's Funko Pops.
Now, these motherfuckers sitting on these Beanie Babies is mad as fuck because them shits ain't worth nothing, and they got a bunch of them. You know what I mean? That's like those big ass Disney VCR tapes. You better get this shit because we're gonna close the vault. We're gonna close the vault, and they're gonna close it for 1,000 years. You can close it for 2,000 years. Ain't no one got a VCR no more, motherfucker. But everybody brought in for them shits, and I know people that got stacks of these big thick ass VCR Disney tapes, and they ain't got a thing they can do with them. Just sitting there.
I remember one of my boys' moms had a room full of Beanie Babies, and she had the crazy rare Beanie Baby. She had like the black Jaguar from like freaking Mexico, man. Some crazy Beanie Babies, and them shits ain't worth a lick no more.
Nothing. That's what you get, motherfuckers. That's what you get.
You remember how crazy they used to go on them Beanie Babies in the 90s, bro?
Oh, yeah. I remember motherfuckers, boy, had them shit stacked up. I remember people going apeshit over these goddamn beds. And I told people these shits were stupid. And there's no way they could retain their value. People didn't want to listen to me. No one wanted to buy them. Now look at you. Look at you. You're holding them, you're sitting on them, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do with it. I mean, it's almost that way with DVDs. If you go to DVD, try to sell a DVD. See how much you get for it. Fuckers will offer you $1 for a DVD. You know, and I know people like when I bought the Rome box set, that shit cost me $150 when it first came out. $150 when the Game of Thrones box set first came out for the first season. That shit was $125.
Wow.
That shit you can now they put that shit out at starting at $30 for everything. That's what it becomes. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean the Beanie Babies of today are basically Funko Pops. I looked at eBay, looked at some Funko Pop prices of the real rare. The Dragon Ball Z Vegeta Funko Pop, the orange and blue one, that joke's $900. The headless Ned Stark, the Game of Thrones headless Ned Stark Funko Pop, that one's $1,000. Like, there are some really expensive Funko Pops out there. They're only $10, you know, the regular ones, but there are some really, really expensive ones they sell at the conventions. At the Comic-Cons. My
advice to people is sell those fuckers now. Don't sit and hold that shit like it's a baseball card. Like, oh, I'm gonna hold it and it's gonna be. No, it's not. Sell that shit, make your cash right now. Someone's gonna give you $1,000 for a headless Ned Stark Funko Pop, you best to do it. Because it ain't gonna be worth fucking 10,000 years from now. It's not a comic book. It's not a fucking baseball card. It's never going to go up like that. It's not a fucking coin. It's not a coin made out of fucking U.S. minted coin. Those are the only things you could put your money on. That's really you know is going to get that money back. It's not a stamp. It's not. It doesn't have nostalgia like that. It's a plastic figure fucking ring. Period.
Exactly, man. And I mean, you know, the NES, you know, the NES Mini, you know, I got nostalgia for it. I mean, these things aren't really worth that much. It's just the nostalgic factor that can even make a scalper up the price from 60 to 200. You know, if a smart person would just go on eBay and buy an old NES classic, the big box one, you know, just get that one.
Yeah.
They sell that joint for like $40 on eBay. I bought one recently, like 2 months ago. I bought one off eBay.
Yeah, people don't want it because you got to blow in the tape and shit. But blowing in the tape, you know, I've done a lot of things to get that shit right. I had to blow in the fucking tape, blow inside the cartridge. I put 2 cartridges on top of each other. You know, I've done it. I've done it all.
That's the best part of owning an NES classic, bro. It's blowing in them damn cartridges.
Yeah, like that shit really works. But yo, everyone did that shit. But blowing that motherfucker, sticking 2 on top of each other. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? This nostalgia and memories and shit like that. And I don't think, see, a thing like that, that's like me, Mo, talking about. That's a memory. You're not gonna have that memory with a Funko Pop. And only things with memories like that can maintain value. Funko Pop, you ain't got no memory like that. It's never gonna be like that. So my advice is you sell that motherfucker. Sell that motherfucker. Sell that motherfucker.
All right, we're gonna get to the last part of the podcast, man. We got the Walking Dead finale, bro. Let's do this.
You know what you gotta say?
Review champs. Round 3.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. What did you think of the Walking Dead finale, bro? This finale was kind of underwhelming to me. It wasn't. See, the thing is, man, I keep trying to compare this show to Game of Thrones, and I gotta keep telling myself, don't do it, Mo. Stop that. It's not Game of Thrones. You know, I gotta keep doing that, man.
So I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm not a huge Walking Dead fan, all right, but I've watched this season. I watched the first like 3 seasons, and then I watched the last 3 seasons. All right, whatever, something like that.
Hey, bro, whatever you just did in the last 5 seconds, keep doing, like, do it every time your mic goes out, because now your mic sounds money. So whatever you did, remember it.
All right. So you know, I've watched the Walking Dead shit. I've watched like the first 3 seasons. I watched the last 3 seasons. I'm not a huge Walking Dead fan, but I will say this for the show. For a season finale, it was stupid. You know what I mean? Coming off of last year's season finale, which I thought was the cliffhanger, was stupid to do. I didn't like that cliffhanger like that. Going into this, I think you're giving people blue balls. You know, I think people. I've read the Walking Dead comic book, so I know what's going to happen. And I'm more of a fan of the comics than I am of the show. So I think that you're giving people blue balls too much, and you need to let these fuckers come already. You know, you did it to them twice. You built them up twice, and the finale to me it should be an ending of the season. It should not be a start of the next season.
It should wrap up loose ends.
It should be an ending of that season. That season should be over, and then you go into the next season. This is just like the last 2 season-ending seasons. It's like it's starting for the next season. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's bullshit. You can't do that. You need to end that season and start fresh the next season. End that storyline. Don't milk that storyline over to the next storyline. I don't like it that when they do that, they've done it 2 seasons in a row. And I think that's the biggest flaw with it. When like you take a show like The Sopranos or a great show like The Wire, when it ended that season was over. Every storyline that they had, they wrapped it up. Now they may have came back to a storyline a later season, a minor storyline, and touched up on it. But the major storylines, it was over. It ended. And then it moved on to the next thing next season. That's why those shows are successful. That's why those season finales are successful. When you do it like this and you're giving people blue balls because they're anticipating more, and have the Tigers just jumping on the people at the right time and knows who to jump on. I don't understand that. Maybe there's some animal training, some Siegfried and Roy shit this motherfucker's got going on there. I don't know. But even that motherfucker got his head bit off fucking with these Tigers.
Like, so, yeah, like with Game of Thrones, when they end a season, they might leave a couple of loose ends, but they'll tie up a rack of them at the same time. Like Walking Dead last season, they immediately cut the season off with not telling us who Negan killed, which was wrong. And the showrunners knew they did it wrong. They came out and said they did it wrong and apologized for leaving that cliffhanger like that on such an important killing. You know, and this season you thought they would live true to their word and knew they fucked up last season. And this season, they wouldn't leave us, you know, with blue balls and leave us hanging on the edge. Everybody thought, you know, spoilers alert if you haven't seen it, so just don't listen to this part. Everybody thought that Negan would have been killed this season. Everybody thought Negan was going to be taken care of. The Tiger, I predicted it with a bunch of people that the Tiger would eat Negan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Negan could have got killed 100 times in the finale, and every time he gets fucking away. When he's standing near the car, he's standing there. All of a sudden, he moves away, and boom, the Tiger's right where the car was, right where Negan was. So the showrunners knew exactly what they were doing. They were trying to tease us, and they should have killed him, but they didn't, man. What did you think about that?
I just think it's bullshit. I think, you know, in the comic book, it goes a different way, but I just think that I think they're trying to milk the actor, that they want him on the show. They like him. I don't know if he's friends with the guys. Maybe he's tickling the taint of the showrunners. I don't know what he's got going on or what he has on. I have no idea. You know, this guy to me is Bruce Wayne's father. You know what I mean? That's what every time I see him, that's what I think of. He got shot. At least they know when to kill that motherfucker. They took him out quick. You know what I mean? They let him get killed. But
I've read the comic books, but I haven't gotten this far to this part yet. I'm still a little bit far back. But, you know, you could tell that, like, everybody that's read the comic told me, they're like, yeah, they didn't do it right. They didn't do it right. And I'm like, yeah, I could tell. Even without being a comic book reader, I could tell that they didn't do it right because Negan didn't die.
Yeah, the next segment of The Walking Dead, the next thing is probably maybe the best thing that they came up with in the Walking Dead comic book. I'm not going to say anything about it or anything like that. But what you're doing here, and what I see the buildup, what's going to happen is they're going to do this war with Negan. And then the next thing that should be The Walking Dead, which should have been all next season, you're probably just going to start that at the end of the season. And that's bullshit because that should have started next season. And they're pushing it backward. They're trying to stretch it. And there's no need to stretch it because you have so many shitty episodes in there, so many dragged out episodes in there. There's no need to stretch it. If you just condensed it and did it right, it would be exciting. But it's like they're trying to milk it too much, and there's no cow coming out there's no milk coming out these fucking udders right now. You know, you just squeeze it with the nipple and it's not coming out.
Like in Game of Thrones, they probably got about 2 plot filler episodes. It seems like The Walking Dead has about 5 plot filler episodes a season.
Yeah, and you're trying to milk it. You're trying to milk it too much, and there's no need to, because it's an exciting show. And I say this all the time. People, you ever heard me talk about other things when it comes to like DC, right? When it comes to DC and their fucking movies, because they don't know how to make a fucking good movie. All right, stick to the comic. Stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. The comics are successful for a reason. Stop thinking you can do it better. Just stick to the fucking script you're given. You're not better than Stan Lee. You're not better than these people. Just stick to the fucking script. That's all you have to do. Why does the DC animated movies come off so good, but the DC movies come off like shit? Because they know how to stick to the script in the DC animated movies. They don't try to reinvent the wheel. And I think that's the problem with The Walking Dead. These guys are too full of themselves. I don't know if it's the History Channel. Look, This is the only show this channel is fucking A&E. I got them back. This is the only show that they got, that they really have. They got to milk this shit. You know what I mean? This is it for them if they don't got it. You know, I don't know what else they got on the network that's
Yeah, it's AMC, not History Channel.
AMC, I said A&E, AMC, all these motherfucking channels all of a sudden are supposed to be about history and something else. Now all of a sudden they're doing network shows, but that's a different topic for a different subject. Now, what I'm saying is that they don't have anything else in the lineup.
They used to have Breaking Bad and Mad Men, but now both those shows are discontinued, and Walking Dead and the Badlands is all they've got left, and Breaking Sal or Better Call Sal.
And and Better Call Sal is not living up to expectations, you know, and so
absolutely not. Not.
So this is all they got. This is their bread and butter. So they're trying to milk this. So they're trying to fucking milk this as long as they can. And that's what they're trying to get in on this, you know what I mean? And that's what they're doing. But by doing it, they're giving you a watered down product. I don't like 2% milk. I don't give a fuck if it's healthy for you. I like whole milk. Give me the whole milk. I don't give a fuck if it's not. I need that fat. Give me that fat. They're taking out the fat on these motherfucking shows, and I don't need that. When I eat a burger, I need the grease. I don't want no bulk of fucking burger. I don't care if it's better or healthier for you. I don't want it. I want the grease. I want the burger. I want the meat. They're taking the meat away. They're giving you a goddamn veggie burger. I don't want the veggie burger, motherfucker. Give me the meat.
Yeah, and the problem that the showrunners got now is they've got 2 season finales now back to back that didn't live up to expectations, and you've got Game of Thrones coming back for the 7th season this summer. That might be the greatest season this show's ever had, because now we're going to get all new content, all new stuff that book readers and showrunners have never seen before, which may make this the greatest season ever. So
if you want to talk Game of Thrones, we can talk Game of Thrones in the next round. Let's go Game of Thrones right now.
Okay, so that you know, they basically what we're saying is they got back-to-back seasons now of didn't live up to expectations. Step your game up, AMC and Walking Dead. Kurt Franklin, whatever the guy is.
I think the name of the show is fucking fitting right now. That's what this show is. It's the fucking Walking Dead. It's a show, and people are watching it. That's what you get from it. It's the Walking Dead. It's dead people fucking walking. And you don't even see dead people in this fucking show anymore. You don't even see zombies like you're supposed to. I mean, yeah, it's just bullshit.
All right. Going into the last segment. Review champs, round 4. Ding, ding, ding. We got Game of Thrones, man. We got. Aren't these motherfuckers milking it all the way to the end of summer? By the time this show comes out, it might be fall. It might be Halloween by the time this thing comes out.
Yeah, you know, we're coming down to it right now. Thank God that it's, you know, only a couple of months away right now. But, you know, it could be the best season of Game of Thrones this year. And if it's going to be the best season of Game of Thrones, it's really easy to see how it's going to be. It's not because of the content is going to be better or it's going to be newer. To me, it's going to be shorter in the season. It's only 6 episodes, so there's really no bullshit they can give you. In that amount of time, they have no choice but to jump this, 7 episodes, whatever. They got to jump this shit off. You know what I mean? In no amount of time can they not do that. So they have no choice but to do that. You know what I'm saying? So no doubt it has expectations of being one of the greatest seasons. But I do believe that this plot leak, which I think I 100% agree with, I do believe it's going to go down like the plot leak says. I think that's a 100% good leak. It's going to take away some of the anticipation, some of the expectations for the show.
I didn't look at any of the leaks. You looked at the leaks, bro? Why'd you do that?
I've done a whole fucking, when it first came out, I did a whole shit on Teflon TV on that. Me and Nico and her man from Russia, I did a whole thing about the plot leaks and stuff. And I'm a book reader. So to me, I don't need to not know what's going to happen to keep me interested. I've always known what was going to happen. And my, you know, on the Teflon TV channel, I predicted a lot of shit that was going to happen. So I don't need to know what's going to happen to be excited about a show, for me to get excited about it. I can just do it. I can just watch the show for what it is and get excited just for seeing it, let alone for anything that's going on.
The leaks came out. I think they only got about 4 out of 10 things right. So
I just think if you have the leak, especially a leak that's exposed like that, if you have a plot leak like that, you're not going to just get 3 things right. You either got it all right or you got nothing. You know what I mean? And I think they got it all right. It all makes sense to me. I think there's some things that the leaks leave out. Like they don't talk a lot about Arya. They don't talk a lot about Sansa. But I think the things that they have put in the plot leaks will happen this season.
When do you think the book is going to come out? You think they'll like George R. R. Martin will like surprise everybody and drop it in the summertime?
No, I don't think he could do that because he has that novella coming out with those other authors. And I don't think he's going to fuck over those other authors when he's putting it, not just for himself, but, you know, because it's with other people. I don't think he's going to fuck those people over and then put his book out right when that book gets released. And that's supposed to come out, I think, in like November, maybe a little earlier than that, like late in the fall, or maybe early fall, but sometime in the fall, that's supposed to drop. So I don't think he's going to fuck those people over and just overshadow them by putting his book out on top of that. So I think he's going to have respect for those people because that's the type of guy he seems like he is. And I think it's got to come out later. I think the earliest we can see it is December. That's the earliest. If not, I think around January. I think January is a book release time. So it would be probably, you know, but at December, Christmas time, or January, I would give it.
Yeah, they were talking about releasing the book this March last year, and then now that got pushed back. So yeah,
I mean, I think he's got it. I think he's got it. I think it's in the editing process right now. Me personally, I think he's got it written. I think it's being edited right now. I think he's going back and putting more stuff in and taking stuff out during the editing process. But I do believe that's where he's at because when you look at all the other stuff that he's had, like they released the Forsaken chapter. He wrote that chapter like 5-6 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they just put it out right now, and it's still it's fire. But he's had that. So if he's got other chapters that he's had from 5 years ago, he's just going to push them forward into this book. So I think he's got a lot of chapters like that he's pulled forward and put into this book, and then he's writing a lot of new stuff to go along with that. But the fact that he had those chapters already written, I think that's why it's in the editing process right now, and it'll be out soon enough.
Yeah, this season looks ripe, it looks tight, and it looks all ready.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to mostly this season? If you're going to see one thing in this season, what are you looking for?
The number one thing I'm probably looking forward to this season is either seeing John's reaction to finding out his lineage or finding out seeing other people's reactions to finding out John's lineage. You know, yeah. So seeing Cersei know who Jon is, seeing Varys know who Jon is, seeing Littlefinger know who Jon is, seeing Sansa know who Jon is, and that all colliding, seeing Tyrion find out who Jon is, and him getting all the backstory. You know, that's what I can't wait for.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible that it go down like that. You know what I mean? I don't think Cersei will believe it. I don't think the other people will believe it. I don't even know. You know, I don't think they'll believe it. If they do find out, I don't think they're going to believe it. I think that what's going to happen, me personally, and yes, I have seen some of the plot leaks. I said I've read them and everything else and seen them, but my thoughts are not based on these plot leaks, so I'm not giving anything away. These are my Tony Teflon and Don's thoughts. I think that Jon, if anything, will get his recognition through his respect, through conquest. Through like Aegon got it, like he's always been to me, and I've said this before in many videos. He's Dunk. I mean, he's Egg, and you know what I mean. That's who Jon is. He's the king who grew up as a bastard. He's seen the world through bastards' eyes. As Egg walked around as a commoner with Dunk, he's seen the world as a commoner, and then became king. And that's why I told people, people still argue with you that R plus L isn't J. Like, people still fight you over that shit. And even though that's obviously what it is, I mean, I tell them, I say, what do you need? Do you need to see Kit Harington's grown-ass head come out of that woman's pussy with the beard and everything else? I mean, come on, people. They fucking carved this shit in the fucking in the show. You can see it carved into the thing in the wall. R plus L equals J, and then they show it. So this is what it's been. I know it's been years, and it's not as sexy as it would have been if it would have came out a long time ago. But this is what it is. It's not. John is not a Arshura Dane's baby. He's not a twin with Danny. He's nothing like that. He's Rhaegar, Lyanna's son. So I think that he's going to earn it through respect more than his lineage. Just the way that Egg's seen it like that. And I used to tell people all the time too. Like, I'm like, John's whole life he was a bastard. He's been known as a bastard. So he's not going to be a great bastard when it's all said and done. It's going to be that he's legitimate. So I believe that him and Lyanna and his father got married on the Isle of Faces in front of a weirwood tree. And that's what's going to legitimize him, and he's going to be the legitimate king. Now, will it be that Danny accepts John as her king? Is that what it's going to be? Is she going to be that willing to give that up herself? It seemed like earlier that if Khal Drogo was still alive, she would have been willing to sit next to him and let Khal Drogo rule and her kind of rule through him. Because we see that and when Khal Drogo gets killed, basically sticking up for her over his own people. So would she be willing to do that with John? Or is she at the point right now where she's like, this is my way of the fucking highway? That's interesting for me to see how she adapts to that. Because I do think that she has the ability to be that way. It's quite possible that you could show her go down like that. You could see her want to be the ruler herself and want to be, the one in power.
Is that what you're looking forward to the most for next season?
What I'm looking forward to next season, if I could see anything next season, I want to see some real White Walker action. I want to see the White Walkers really get it on. You know what I mean? I want to see that side of it. Everything else, I'm pretty much aware of. And I really want to know if I predicted a lot of this shit right, because this season will prove a lot of predictions for a lot of different people, whether they're right or wrong. And I think that it's going to, I think right now, straight up, that I got everything right. I'm not boasting, I'm not bragging or nothing. I just think that's just what it is. It just so happened to be me. And I think that this season can confirm a lot of that. So I'm really looking forward to them confirming or denying. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll be the first one to make a video that say that I was wrong on it, but I doubt it. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of those things really confirmed or not confirmed and denied. And I'm looking forward to seeing more White Walker action. That's what I'm more into in the show, is the White Walkers. I want to see more White Walker action. I need to see that shit go down.
Yeah, they definitely got to give us more White Walker action. There's a lot of things going down that just, can't wait to see how.
Yeah, there's a lot of Littlefinger, Sansa, all the North situation. In future podcasts, and maybe the next podcast, we'll devote a whole hour to Game of Thrones and the Review Champs. And, in the Review Champs, we definitely going to be reviewing the Game of Thrones show when it comes out in this podcast style. We're going to do other shows. We're also going to go back and we're going to do The Wire. We're going to review every episode of The Wire from season 1 all the way through season 5. We're going to review the Rome, season 1 and season 2. We're going to review all these different things on this podcast. So please make sure that you subscribe. We will have a Review Champs channel. We'll put that up. But until then, we're going to post these videos on Moe-Genie's channel and my channel until we can get that Review Champs thing popping. You're going to be able to find this on iTunes. You're going to be able to find this wherever podcasts are found. And as always, you know what I mean? If you got any other topics, any other topics that go up, we're going to talk about. We're talking boxing matches, MMA fights. We're talking video games. We review everything. That's why we review fucking champs. You know what I mean? It don't matter what it is. As I said, you send me a picture of your chick naked, I'll review that.
Straight up, this is what we do. It's the king of the hill. We move and we maneuver like cougars. This is it. It's the Review Champs. I hope y'all blessed. We blessed. We checking out. Enjoy the content. Check out Teflon's channel. Check out my channel. This is going to be the Review Champs episode 1 podcast, man. Tony, tell them what's up.
Hey, yo, you know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. You got to like. And to all my people out there, you know how we do. Peace and stay sexy.